This week, we head to Gunnison, Colorado.
Another thing you need to know is there's no cell service here at all.
Go to one of our favorite places in the country.
$850,000.
Jesus.
Do a little off-roading. Go on one of the most scenic hikes ever. Talk about the camera gear that we use. And visit an underwater ghost town that has risen again.
That is the school flagpole.
Yep.
We took Highway 50 from Colorado Springs all the way to Gunnison. One of our favorite parts was driving through the stunning Bighorn Sheep Canyon. We swung into a pullout to grab a bite of lunch and took in all the beauty this canyon had to offer. It's widely known for its accessible whitewater rafting, gold medal trout fishing, and dramatic canyon scenery. After lunch, we continued up the highway to 11,312-foot Monarch Pass. We pulled into the visitor center and gift shop, but again, we were just a couple days early because it didn't open till Memorial Day weekend. This seemed like a good opportunity to take advantage of living and traveling in a motorhome. Hey, when you gotta go, you gotta go. We continued on, but came upon a scene of a tractor trailer flipped over. Yikes. We arrived in Gunnison, but kept on going since our RV park was just a few more miles down the road. We got to Thousand Trails Blue Mesa, found our spot, and settled in for the next 2 weeks.
Well, we're in Site 337 this time here. Last time we were up on the hill a little bit further and actually had 50 amp service, and we only have 30 amp service here because the campground only has a few spots that are 50 amp, so just keep that in mind. But I mean, the temperatures are great. We're not running the ACs, really don't have to worry about it. In fact, we've been running the heater in the morning because it's been in the high 30s, low 40s, so it's been pretty nice. Another thing you need to know is there's no cell service here at all. So if you don't have Starlink or some other kind of satellite internet, is there another satellite internet? Then you're pretty much not going to have service. They do have complimentary Wi-Fi in the lodges and the recreational areas and stuff, but I haven't tried it. And they do have campground Wi-Fi, which we haven't tried. However, I doubt it's very good because with our experience, especially within the Thousand Trails system, their campground Wi-Fi sucks.
Blue Mesa is one of Thousand Trails' newest parks and sits at 7,700 feet above sea level. Because of its location and elevation, it's only open from May 1st to September 30th. Right across Highway 50 lies Colorado's largest body of water, the Blue Mesa Reservoir. It's 20 miles long with 96 miles of shoreline. Because of a warm, dry winter, the reservoir currently sits 62 feet below full capacity. Because of low water levels, the extinct ranching town of Iola has reappeared. Founded in 1896 along the Gunnison River, the community served as a vital transportation hub and a world-renowned fly fishing destination before it was intentionally flooded in the mid-1960s to construct the Blue Mesa Dam, creating the reservoir we see today.
This whole area was a town. You can see all the pilings everywhere from where all the old buildings used to stand. Yeah, that is just crazy. You can tell that's an old foundation to
Wow.
something. Can you imagine what the original people that lived here would think today about me launching a drone from their old foundation?
That would be crazy.
Yeah, it would. Another foundation, huh?
I'm gonna guess this was the school,
Yeah.
because that is the school flagpole.
Yep.
One of the highlights of visiting this extinct town was seeing the base of the school's flagpole, still bearing the initials of some of the children that went there all those years ago.
Wow, look at that. Still see the initials on there.
It looks like there's something over there.
Oh yeah, there's something cement up there too, isn't there? Should we go check that out? Another old foundation to something.
Yep.
At the back of the RV park behind the cabins, there's a gate that leads to a bunch of hiking trails. Axel and I have been enjoying our early morning hikes well before the campground wakes up. There's just something about that early, cool, crisp mountain air. And hey, the views aren't bad either.
The site we have is actually kind of tight. Not enough room to put our clam up. We got Clay and Maria actually coming here on Friday to meet back up with us. And looks like we'll be playing cards inside. Let me show you the site.
Blue Mesa 1000 Trails has 2 pools, one indoor and one outdoor. Unfortunately, when we were there, the outdoor pool wasn't quite open yet. It also has recreation facilities and laundry.
So I get a lot of questions on what kind of camera equipment I use and what I use to edit videos. So let's go over that real quick. So the main camera that I use 99% of the time is whatever the latest GoPro is. Right now I'm using the GoPro Hero 13 and it is in a media mod, so I can attach a light to it as well as a microphone. The microphone that we're currently using is the DJI Mic 3. We just got these and I really like these. Was using a shotgun mic for a very long time, but the disadvantage of using the shotgun mic is you almost always have to have it pointed towards your face. Otherwise, when you point the camera away from you and you're talking, you lose some of the volume on the audio. So these definitely work out better. Now you notice on top of the GoPro, I've got a shoe mount extender, and that's left over for when I was using the shotgun mic before we got the wireless ones. The reason I have the extender on there is because when you put this dead cat, which is the term for the wind sock that goes on here, which you definitely need if you're going to do a shotgun mic, it would constantly get in the shot, especially if I was moving the camera really fast and it just didn't have enough time to adjust. You'd see the bottom of this little dead cat get in there. So I even shaved up the dead cat a little bit to try to keep it out of the shot. Didn't always work, so that's why we got the extender. Now just today, GoPro announced a whole brand new line of GoPros, the Missions, and they're going to be released here in a couple days, and I'm definitely going to be getting one of those, and I'll let you know what it's like as soon as I get it. Another camera that I use sometimes is my iPhone, and I usually get the latest iPhone. This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and I will use this sometimes for some B-roll. B-roll just means that there's no audio attached to it. It's just video only. Because the audio on these phones, they're just not good. Now, with these new DJI Mic 3s, I actually can connect them to the iPhone, but I'm probably not going to do it because the video on the GoPros are so much better and stable. So when I do need to zoom into a shot, if something's a long ways away, then I will use the iPhone just so I can do that. I also have a 360-degree camera that I use a lot, and that is the Insta360 X5. That's what this one is, and I love this camera. I was using the GoPro 360 for a while. They just came out with a new one, which I don't have. I ended up switching over to the Insta360, and man, I really love this camera. It has some really good picture quality, good color, and very good stability. So I think we'll stick with Insta360 for the 360s from now on. And then, of course, my favorite camera of all, my little DJI Mavic Mini 5 Pro drone. This is where I get all the aerial shots, of course. It's got the follow me mode, so it can follow me while we're hiking or riding bicycles or out four-wheeling in the Jeep. I absolutely love the drone shots. There is no audio with the drone shots. There are ways you can hook up audio, but usually I just do a voiceover when I've got drone shots or I have music playing in the background or something like that. Speaking of voiceovers, this is the mic that I use when I do my voiceovers now, and this is a Steel Series mic, and it works pretty good. I think sound quality is pretty good. Right out of the box, it's not awesome, but once I do my adjustments when I'm editing the video, it definitely sounds a lot better. Let me know, guys, what do you guys think? The audio for the DJI Mic 3s as well as the Steel, what do you guys think? Does it sound pretty good? When I'm filming inside, the lighting is not always the best, so I do have like a little vlog light that I use, as you can see right here, and shining on me, because lighting is super important, especially indoors. I do all my editing on a MacBook Pro. This is the 14-inch model that I currently have, and I really like it because I use Final Final Cut Pro to edit all our videos, and it's an Apple product, so it works well with Mac, of course. As you can see, I use triple monitors on the Mac for editing because it's so much easier when you got 3 different monitors to edit with. Typically, what I'll do over here is I will put my folder that's got all the videos in it, and I have them broke down by categories. So we've got, you know, the 360, the dash cam, drone, the hero, phone, and then I do have a Nikon camera that I rarely ever use. And then once I get everything put into the folder, I just import it into Final Cut Pro, and this is where the project begins. And as you can see, I'm working on next week's video right now, and here is the project. And so you can just buzz through the timeline here and do all your adjustments. You can add music, you can add sound effects. I get all of my music, sound effects, stock footage, photos, all that stuff from motionarray.com. They've even got a section in my account where I can clear any kind of copyright claims that I get after I upload the videos. As long as it's one of these 3 companies that own the rights to the music, then it'll clear it instantly once I enter the URL right here and hit clear claim. I'd say 9 out of 10 times it'll clear it instantly, but every once in a while we'll have to actually go through the YouTube process of clearing a copyright claim. And that's about it, guys. If you got any questions about any of my equipment or how I edit videos or anything like that, just put them down in the comments and let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Love helping people out.
Whenever we visit Thousand Trails Blue Mesa, we have to go to one of our favorite places in the entire country. There are few places that can still be called a real Colorado ski town, and Crested Butte is one of them. There are no traffic lights, no chain stores, and no high-rise buildings. Yet, while you walk around town, you'll have spectacular views with no shortage of entertainment and dining options. Crested Butte got its start as a mining town in the 1880s. It was once called the town that wouldn't die because of its ability to survive the booms and busts of the Colorado mining days. It is now known for some of the best mountain biking and skiing in the nation.
Can't believe it's been 3 years since we were up here at Crested Butte.
Yeah.
Last time we were here, it was May, and there was still snow up here. They didn't get quite the snowfall this year as they did 3 years ago, and it was like record-breaking snowfall.
Our first order of business was to grab some lunch at the Secret Stash Pizzeria. The pizza was amazing, and we even swapped stickers with the manager. Be sure to look for our sticker if you're ever up this way.
You know what would be a really cool time to be up here?
If you're gonna say the winter time.
Well, one specific day in the wintertime.
Christmas time?
Christmas time.
Yeah, it would be, because I think it would be pretty.
It would be beautiful because you can see the Christmas lights on a lot of this stuff. Of course, they don't have it on right now, but I bet you it really lights up during the season.
We also shared our sticker with the Talk of the Town, so make sure you're looking for that one as well. Post a picture in our Facebook group, the No Stick Squad. Our next order of business was to find something sweet from the Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory.
The regular one.
Is it yummy?
It is good.
What flavor did you get?
Huckleberry.
Huckleberry. That's a mountain kind of flavor.
We love the Crested Butte area so much we even considered buying a plot of land to park the RV on during the summer.
There we go, babe. I found our land
Oh, you did?
for the RV.
Okay.
0.78 acres. Guess what the price is?
Points. 300 grand?
$850,000.
Jesus.
Never mind. The next day, we took the Jeep to the Hartman Rocks recreation area located just south of Gunnison, Colorado. This massive 14,000-acre playground has 45 miles of dirt roads that are popular for off-roading, hiking, and biking. There are also over 50 dispersed campsites scattered across this BLM-managed land. While some spots near the main entrance accommodate smaller rigs, the deep interior roads are a maze of rough, rocky tracks. High-clearance four-wheel drive vehicles are highly recommended to reach the better sites. Large RVs should enter via County Road 32 rather than the main entrance. Just a couple miles outside the park, we took Rainbow Lake Road up to over 11,000 feet to attempt to hike Rainbow Lake Trail. At the top is beautiful Rainbow Lake itself. We started seeing quite a bit of snow, so decided to send the drone out to get a lay of the land and discovered, well, the trail was not hikeable because it was still packed with snow. So we just ate our lunch in the Jeep and enjoyed the beautiful scenery.
All right, we're doing another hike today.
Oh, I guess we better grab our sandwiches.
Yeah, we got our lunch packed, and look what we remembered to bring this time. I don't think we'll see any bears on this hike, but you never know. This is the Pine Creek Trail. We actually did this one 3 years ago.
Yes.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. Very beautiful. So we're looking forward to doing it again.
This time we came prepared and Jennifer was armed and ready.
After almost walking into that last one, I want to be safe.
If you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna pop a link right up here and you can go check it out. But yeah, we had a little scare on our last hike down in Colorado Springs.
It doesn't no good to be in the backpack. If we come across one, we need to have it ready.
Oh, you don't think the bear's just gonna wait?
No.
This trail is near the top of our list for all the trails we've hiked in this country.
One thing that we also remember about this hike is there is a bunch of stairs to go up and down.
From its towering walls to its beautiful aqua blue water, it's hard to find a more picturesque hike than this one.
Look how clear it is.
I know. Well, we just ran into another hiker that said that about half a mile down this way they found cougar tracks and it smells like something's dead. That's C-130. Cool. You're like a C-130 to me.
The Gunnison River carved this path through the rugged crystalline walls. We're actually hiking on what was once railroad tracks, later turned into a narrow road that was popular with the locals for fishing the Gunnison River.
Well, no signs of any cougars yet. Except the cougar in front of me here.
No.
This trail lies just downriver of the Blue Mesa Dam and offers a few benches and shady areas to take a break.
All right, this looks like a good place to have lunch.
Drop the bear spray.
Oops. These lunchtime views don't suck. Man, what a beautiful hike this is. You know what I'm looking forward to also?
What?
Heading to Rocky Mountain National Park next.
That's great.
Cannot wait. That is going to be awesome.
Never been there.
Never been there before. Hey, if you guys have things you need us to do in Rocky Mountain National Park, let us know what it is because we've never been there. So let us know down in the comments. We got time passes already because we do know it's a time pass park. I think we pretty much bought a pass for every day that we're going to be there just in case. And then I know we bought an extra pass for like some road, bear something road. I don't remember the name of it, but here's my redneck hot dogs Jennifer was making fun of me with.
I mean, come on now.
These are hot dog buns, peanut butter and jelly.
We have bread, guys. We have bread. And we have Ziploc bags. I just want to put that out there.
All right.
Because, I mean, I'm using
I told Jen, this bag can also be to cover my feet if we run into snow again.
I used to actually do that from when we had to go wear chem gear.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm still using that $5 water can. I just refill it. Yeah, because it actually works perfect. Keeps it colder.
Yeah.
You know what I'm excited about for tomorrow?
I know. Clay and Maria are gonna be here tomorrow.
Yes.
They're down in Cortez, Colorado right now.
Yep.
Working on a park, and they get here tomorrow. So more adventures coming up.
Yep, they'll be here for about a week before they have to go to Texas, and then we meet back up after that. So
yeah, in Wyoming, I think.
Yeah, I feel like it's been forever since we've seen them.
It has been. It's good to travel with friends.
I like travel. I mean, it's been nice just us traveling too, but
yeah, sure.
You know,
you meet up with your friends, hang out with them for a while, and then you go your separate ways, and then you meet back up again, and this is the best life ever.
After lunch, we continued down the trail and were able to get much further than we did last time, because this time the Gunnison River was much lower. All in all, it was about 4 miles out and back.
Well, I think we found the tracks. I'm not sure those are cougar tracks. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it's big. They're old though. I don't know. Those kind of look like bear to me. Hard to tell. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Oh, there's another boat up here. This is the one I saw on the drone earlier. I haven't seen anybody though. Maybe the cougar got them. Did you find some shade?
I did.
Oh, you can really feel the temperature difference over here.
Feels
wow.
good.
That's cool. Man, this is just beautiful. Just beautiful.
I don't remember walking back this far.
No, we didn't come back this far for sure.
This is what the river looked like 3 years ago. Just as beautiful, but much higher and much faster.
Are you ready for an echo?
Yeah.
Echo! Hello! Well, another successful and beautiful hike, babe.
Yep.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also click that little bell because that really helps us out.
I think that's going to do it for this week, guys. Till next week, safe travels.